Now we are going to work on following order of operations whenever solving problems with decimals that involve decimals. So here we go. We have 2 and 44 hundredths, and then in parentheses 4 and 5 tenths minus 3 and 175 thousandths. So we know from order of operations that we do PEMDAS. We do parentheses first. So this inside of the parentheses we're going to do first. So we have to do 4 and 5 tenths minus 3 and 175 thousandths. Notice that I have to know the difference between when I line up my decimal point and when I do not. So whenever I subtract and add decimals, I line up my decimal point, and when I multiply decimals, I do not. So I do need to make sure I know the difference so I can line up my place value when I need to. So you can see here that there's some gaps, so I'm going to go ahead and put my zeros in. And I need to solve this problem, so I need to solve the parentheses first. I need to borrow first. So I'm subtracting just like normal. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. I bring down my decimal point since we're doing subtraction and my place values are lined up. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So inside of this parentheses is actually 1 and 325 thousandths. And I'm going to keep my parentheses around it. So really my problem now is 2 and 44 hundredths times 1 and 325 thousandths. The reason it's multiplication is because we learned when we did our order of operations that when there's a number and it is right next to a parentheses with nothing in between it, that means multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply these numbers. I have 2 and 44 hundredths times 1 and 325 thousandths. Notice I did not line up my decimal points because I line up my last number. So I'm going to go ahead and do multiplication on this. And this is one that will take a little bit longer. But we're going to go ahead and go through the steps. So 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 2 is 22. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Now I'm done with those. I'm going to cross them out. I have add my 0 in, my placeholder. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I'm on to my third number, so I have to add another 0. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Notice I have another a number in a higher place value now. And then I am on to my next place value. So I need to add another 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. So I'm going to add all these up. I have zeros. I have 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Now notice I don't have any decimals in my number yet. And that's because I'm going to go back and see how many decimal points I need to add in. So I look right here and there are 2 numbers to the right of the decimal point. So I know I'll at least have 2. And then I look and I see, oh, there's a decimal point here as well. There's 3 numbers to the right of the decimal point here. So if I add up 2 plus 3, I get 5. So I need to move my decimal point 5 times. Let's see what that looks like. I start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My decimal point now goes here. I'm going to rewrite my number. 3 and 233 thousandths. Now I have 2 more zeros here, but I do not need to add them in. It would still be a correct answer because adding zeros to the end after a decimal point doesn't change the value, but I don't need them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it at 3 and 233 thousandths. So my answer would be A.